Tonight, it's on HBO. At 6:30, a live boxing doubleheader, De La Hoya versus Tyson and Chavez versus Walker. At 8:30, he's possessed with more than the need to protect and serve. Jason Kedrick, The Force. And at 10, staying alive becomes a full-time job. Maxwell Caulfield, No Escape, No Return. Live boxing doubleheader, The Force and No Escape, No Return. Something special's on tonight.
The following is a special presentation of HBO Sports.
The argument is pursued everywhere. Who's the best boxer in the world today? A case could be made for a number of different fighters. But with the advent of cyberspace, the internet, and today's hyper-technology, perhaps we could assemble one composite boxer everyone would call the best. This from among active fighters. There are several choices for best body. George Foreman, and the beauty of middle age notwithstanding, let's select Roy Jones. Hard to argue with the new conditioning coach of basketball's Florida Beach Dogs. For pure strength and power, let's surf the heavyweights out there. And until someone proves us wrong, we'll double-click Mike Tyson as our arms of steel. One day, we could well be calling Iron Mike's knockout power legendary. Our perfect fighter will need an ironclad defense as well. A guy who has the legs and isn't afraid to use them, Sweet Pea Whitaker. He's bouncing less than he used to, but it's good to know Whitaker's got the hops if he needs them. The head is the brains, the head is the toughness, the head is the determination. Point and click on Oscar De La Hoya. He proved he could brawl with Molina. That was a shock. He out-East LA'd Rafael Ruelas. That surprised a lot of us. De La Hoya made savvy, experienced Genaro Hernandez quit in the ring. So don't say Oscar De La Hoya can't do something. He probably can. Now let's round out our computerized fighter. Add the right experience from a man with 98 pro fights and only one recorded loss, Julio Cesar Chavez. Anything De La Hoya can do, Chavez probably has already done. He's a throwback to the old days of boxing when 100-fight careers were the norm. And it's not just fighting 100 times. It's winning and learning from each one. So it's our dream team of boxing, the perfect fighter existing only in cyberspace. And this reality doesn't fight either. It fights. Tonight we have two of the men who help comprise our perfect fighter, Julio Cesar Chavez and Oscar De La Hoya. No, they're not fighting each other, at least not tonight. But it's nevertheless a thrilling night of boxing, so exit the web and click out of the chat halls. It's time for Friday Night at the Fights. We're live from the pavilion at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada. Tonight, the boxing world compares notes as two distinguished champions appear on the same card for the first time. Leading off, Oscar De La Hoya leaves his 135-pound title behind to fight at 140 pounds tonight against Darryl Tyson. Then venerable 140-pound champion Julio Cesar Chavez fights an above-the-weight bout against relatively unknown Scott Walker. It's Julio and Oscar back-to-back. And the normal knowledgeable crowd of boxing aficionados crowds into the indoor pavilion at Caesars in anticipation of perhaps coming back here for the outdoor arena on the night of June 7th, when and they hope they'll get a chance to see the two stars of tonight's card, Julio Cesar Chavez and Oscar De La Hoya, going head-to-head in the biggest fight of this or several other years. Hello again, everybody. I'm Jim Lampley. We welcome you back to this primetime edition of HBO's World Championship Boxing. Admittedly, a potential stepping stone to bigger business down the road. Oscar De La Hoya and Julio Cesar Chavez already have a contract to meet each other on June 7 if they can get through tonight's festivities safely. Working with me, as always, HBO boxing analyst Larry Merchant. And Larry, as we get ready for this doubleheader with De La Hoya and Chavez, the title of the card is Prelude to Glory. Does that mean that we already know the results?
Well, it means we already think we know the results. But hey, we're still buzzing from that fabulous fight of last weekend when two champions, Barrera and McKinney, spontaneously combusted into a pure, thrilling flame. That was the passion of this sport. A passion so deep and celebrated that it sometimes overcomes and redeems the bad side of this game. What we have tonight is the business side of the sport. Two champions who wanted tune-ups, sometimes known as setups, before they combust, presumably later in the spring. So it's a chance to watch an outstanding, terrific young fighter, Oscar De La Hoya, and a great veteran, Julio Cesar Chavez, do their stuff. La Hoya for the first time at 140 pounds. And the question that we hope that Chavez answers is, can he do what Kennedy McKinney did last weekend? Can he gather all his forces for one last great heroic effort when he does meet De La Hoya down the road?
All right, two great champions looking ahead to that potential meeting on June 7th. And for this doubleheader, Larry, we welcome back our great champion, HBO expert commentator George Foreman, returning to the fold tonight. George, when promoter Bob Arum started putting this fight card together, he had to deal with the delicate diplomatic question of who gets the traditional top billing, who fights in the second of the two fights. And at some point in that discussion, even though he's making more money than Chavez, Oscar De La Hoya graciously said, hey, wait a minute. Chavez has had such a long and glorious career. I'll give him the main event. I'll step aside and let him fight second. What does that mean for both fighters?
Well, it means that the golden boy also has the golden touch. Anything he touches turns to gold. Now he has the golden tongue. Splendidly done. You don't have to prove anything outside the ring. Once that bell rings, he's on his job. This guy, he was gracious. Good mother's advice. That's what it is.
Archie Moore taught you this lesson earlier in your career.
Archie Moore told me once when we argued over a pair of trunks, I want my color. And I said, Archie, shouldn't I assert my authority? He said, let the guy have anything he wants. When that bell rings, he's going to be disappointed anyway. So you don't argue, you don't prove anything outside of the ring. Oscar De La Hoya has got that same quality I've seen passed on from one champ to another.
Just one of the many substantial lessons De La Hoya has learned so early in his already brilliant career. But that's no surprise. He comes from a boxing family and has used it for a strong foundation. Mexico has a tradition for boxing families. The origins of one of today's biggest stars were planted in the 40s when amateur lightweight Vicente De La Hoya saw his son follow his path.
My father, he told us this history still to me and my other brothers that he was a boxer and he was one of the best in Mexico. Maybe that's why I became a boxer too.
Joel De La Hoya immigrated to the thriving barrios of California and was the first in the family to go pro in the ring. His career was short, but his children kept those boxing hopes alive.
I mean, it's been around, you know, the family for forever. You know, my grandfather, dad, myself, my brother.
I was wanting to be in boxing, but I figured since I was a girl, you know, it wasn't a sport for girls.
The first time they laced up some gloves on me, that's the time when I went inside the ring and boxed against another little kid. It was at first scary, but then afterwards I kind of liked it because it was fun.
With the encouragement of his entire family, Oscar's fun turned into amateur success. The greatest inspiration came from his mother.
She was my #1 fan. When I would fight, she was like the cheering section of the whole fight. She was always there for me. She's my motivation, and she's the reason why I've been very successful in boxing.
Cancer ended Cecilia De La Hoya's life at age 38. The devastating loss and the promise Oscar had made to her made winning in the 1992 Olympics paramount. Then De La Hoya faced an immediate challenge when he left Barcelona.
Her dream was for her son to win an Olympic gold medal. And that's it. I would always think about what she told me, don't turn pro, don't turn pro. It's very dangerous.
But Oscar saw turning pro as a way to move the De La Hoyas out of the dangerous ganglands of East Los Angeles and to keep the family legacy alive.
I started realizing that boxing could be like a business for me, like to make money and to help my family out.
Oscar's dad is the De La Hoya family disciplinarian. His urging and faith encouraged the third-generation fighter to continue.
He will not accept the fact that if I do lose one day, he will not accept it. He wants to see me succeed at all times. That makes me want to train harder. It's like the switch that just goes off and I turn into this warrior.
Oscar is driven by the same pride and determination and quest for respect that drove his grandfather 5 decades ago.
Once I step inside the ring, I turn into this different Oscar, you know, I mean, everything changes. I want to win a fight for my father, for my mother, for my family, and do not disappoint anybody. If they weren't here, then I wouldn't box.
In 1995, Oscar was named King of the Warriors, Fighter of the Year. The 23-year-old world champion has earned for his family unimaginable fame and money. So if boxing is in the De La Hoya blood, the essential quest is fulfilled. Now the time is right for Oscar to pursue his own dreams.
When he was a kid, you know, these magazines, you draw this, I think it was this little turtle, whatever, you draw it and you turn it in, you mail it, and he won that contest.
Drawing led to an interest in drafting and designing. Last summer, Oscar broke ground for his next career.
Building this home here in Big Bear is the start of like a new future. You know, my future is not going to be boxing. It's going to be in the architectural world. My plans are not to stay in boxing for a long time. I ordered my furniture from Mexico City. It's all like a Southwestern style, you know. It's like my fantasy is to build, you know, huge buildings in the future, you know, and become an architect, a great one.
Oscar De La Hoya's family has learned to expect greatness from him. Their love and support nurtures him at the pinnacle of boxing and softens his transition toward life in another, quieter arena.
And now back to the noise of the pavilion at Caesar's Palace. We're live at ringside as De La Hoya prepares to enter the ring against Darryl Tyson. And you see the 12-year age disparity, which will be at play here, along with Oscar's physical advantages, a 3-inch height edge and 5 inches in reach. Larry Merchants? Height edge and 5 inches in reach. Larry Merchants?
Darryl Tyson, in case you don't know him, was a particularly good fighter once upon a time. We'll see what he brings to the party tonight. Here you can see why De La Hoya has been so successful. He throws an awful lot of power shots and lands a very high percentage. And these are the jab numbers. You can see that De La Hoya is all over the place. Tyson does throw a lot of jabs. He is a very good boxer when he wants to be.
Rules of the bout with unofficial ringside scorer Harold Letterman.
The Oscar De La Hoya Darryl Tyson fight is scheduled for 12 rounds. There is no title involved. There is no standing 8 count. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect. Only the referee can stop the fight, and you can be saved by the bell only in the 12th and final round. Jim.
All right, Harold, and now we're ready to welcome Darryl Tyson into the ring. Veteran from Washington, D.C. He's been in against a lot of good fighters. Rafael Ruelas, just to name one of them, Freddie Pendleton, Roger Mayweather, a variety of the best punchers and fighters in the 135 and 140-pound divisions over the years. He comes in with a total of 56 prize fights already in his background. He says to us in a meeting yesterday, I have a large family. I'm the primary breadwinner. I have a chance to accept a paycheck like this. It is my professional responsibility to do it.
One of 2 Tysons in the house. The other one may be a little better known. He's at ringside.
Yeah, most fight fans probably never dreamed they'd get a chance to see De La Hoya Tyson.
Neither did I, Jim.
And here's the record for the lesser known of the 2 Tysons in the house tonight. Darryl Tyson, 47 wins, 8 losses, 1 draw. The 24 KOs tell us he once had some punching power, It hasn't been evident in his recent fights. There's the other Tyson, seated in ringside, front row. George, you were nice enough to go over and say hello to Mike.
Yeah, wonderful guy, it would seem.
You haven't spent a lot of time around Mike?
No, you don't get a chance to see. We live on different parts of the country, but he's got an interesting house in Las Vegas. There's Oscar.
Oscar De La Hoya, and as Larry mentioned, he moves up to 140 pounds for the first time tonight.
You can even see it in his face, Jim. He just looks better. He looks like he's really growing into his body. This is a more natural weight for him. I think he was keeping himself at an artificially low weight for too long. His trainer, Alcazar, told me yesterday that he thinks that within a year and a half, perhaps a year after the scheduled fight with Chavez, he will be a full-fledged welterweight.
Crowd responds to De La Hoya. The record, 20 wins, no losses, no draws, 18 KOs in recent fights against strong professional fighters. Jesse James Leija, Genaro Hernandez, Rafael Ruelas. He has simply blown them away with punching power.
And more than that, he made two really good fighters, his last two opponents, quit. It's just too strong in the lower lightweight divisions. We'll see how his punch affects his opponents as he moves into the welterweight class.
Let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the pre-fight introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Caesar's Palace here in Las Vegas, Nevada, where tonight Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated and Don King Productions, in association with your undisputed, undefeated King of Beers, Budweiser, this Bud's for you, present a double rumble of professional boxing for your entertainment. All the bouts tonight are sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission Chairman Dr. James Nave, Commissioners Nat Carasali, Dr. Elias Ghanem, Luther Mack, and Crispin Rivera. Executive Director Mark Ratner. Three physicians at ringside are Dr. Flip Homansky, Dr. Al Capana, and Dr. Margaret Goodman. The timekeepers at the bell and counting the knockdown seconds will be Al Bisick and Jane Broadfoot. The three judges scoring this first bout on a 10-point must system will be Carol Castellano, Chuck Jampa, and Art Lurie. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, your referee, Mitch Halpern. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the site where legends are made for the first of two times tonight, here at Caesar's Palace, let's get ready to rumble! 12 rounds of boxing in the junior welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white and weighing in at 139 pounds. He comes to us from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., with a professional record of 47 victories, with 8 defeats and 1 draw. 24 of those 47 victories are by knockout victory. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Darryl Terrible T. Tyson. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing brown, trimmed with white, and weighing in at an even 140 pounds. In 1992, he captured Olympic gold and now has a professional record, a perfect one, of 20-0, 18 by KO. He has captured 3 world titles. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the 3-time world champion, the pride of East LA, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya.
Come on out, come out. I've already given the instructions in the dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Any questions? right, touch gloves. Come on, touch him.
In his brief tenure as a professional, De La Hoya has already been in this position, Jim and George, of taking a fight in anticipation of another fight. That's when he fought John Molina, waiting to fight Rafael Ruelas. So this is nothing new for him. But you still wonder how he's going to perform in these circumstances.
Sense that the crowd is waiting for the fight to bring some excitement. There's a palpable expectation here that this evening is about De La Hoya and Chavez and not their opponents. Let's see if Tyson can take advantage of that in any way. Tyson's fight plan, George Foreman, was to try to jab his way in and then get to De La Hoya's body. He believes that if he stays out away from Oscar at this range, he'll be in trouble because he won't be able to reach him and he'll get hit hard.
Yeah, those guys from the nation capital, they do a lot of thinking. You've had some upsets from fighters from Washington, D.C. before come in and upset main event fighters, so Oscar has to be careful. What frightens me about Oscar, he's had so many knockouts lately, sometimes you forget how to win boxing matches. You got to go out there and put some points on the table. We haven't seen that from Oscar lately. He gets knockouts.
De La Hoya with the first left hook of the fight. Tyson blocked it with his right glove, but every De La Hoya opponent must wait in some fear and trembling to feel what that first left hook is going to bring.
But generally another fighter, when you're not sure of your power, you want to establish to the opponent that you have power. Oscar doesn't have to do that. He's got to do the opposite. Establish that, hey, if you want to take this fight into the 12th round, 10th round, 12th, I'm ahead of point. I'm ahead on points.
De La Hoya.
This is what Oscar has to do in these fights.
Oscar focusing his gaze on the middle of Tyson's ribcage, thinking body, and then he comes up from there. Tyson trying to establish the jab, hasn't yet managed to get inside and break De La Hoya's body as he claimed he would.
Now, Oscar probably is trying to establish to the crowd, hey, not only can I knock you out, but I'm a little patient here too. Been a little patient. We like to see him build up some points because there are some fighters you're not going to be able to knock out, and it's going to go to the judges.
Ringside microphones pick up the thudding of De La Hoya's body punches.
Sounds like heavyweights are hitting.
De La Hoya conceding to us yesterday in our discussion that he got a little impatient against Jesse James Leija. Crowd at Madison Square Garden got him excited, and he went into a bit of a frenzy trying to finish that one at the end of the second round. Didn't damage him, but he says, well, I don't want to do that again. I want to be more measured. When they speak Spanish in Oscar De La Hoya's corner, our interpreter will be Hector Garcia.
Relaja.
Breathe in.
Es cuestión de tiempo.
It's only a matter of time.
Sigue trabajando como
Keep working the way you're doing right now.
No me des el jab tan suelto.
Don't throw that jab so loose. Tie him up a little bit. Tie him up.
Siempre el jab primero, manténlo afuera.
The jab first and keep him on the outside. And then throw that right hand over the top.
Siga trabajando como está.
That's the whole thing right there. Yeah. But if you get loose, get close to him. Stop pulling to him. Pull to him, okay? You want to pull to him. Yeah, you only end up with punches. All right?
Have a feel.
Oh, he's just a little tight, but I'm on.
Just looking at those numbers makes me wince. George, I have a cosmic question to ask you. Have you ever seen a prize fighter wear brown trunks before? I can't remember.
No.
He's breaking new ground sartorially. Brown is such a, it's an earthy tone, but it doesn't suggest anything to me. It doesn't suggest purity. It doesn't suggest anger, fear. It's just brown.
We're early, and we've verged pretty far afield already, Larry.
We have Bill Blast Brown.
Tyson now trying to fight at closer quarters.
In the first round, Tyson threw 22 punches. They were all jabs, and he landed only 3 of them. De La Hoya completely dominating the round.
Now, what Tyson has to be experiencing, like those guys in Desert Storm, they heard those bombs and they said they'll stop in a minute, and they never did. After you just can't take it anymore and you just say, I'm just going to sit on my stool or give up. You just can't close yourself up and just pound and listen to that pounding around your head.
Interestingly, when De La Hoya doubles and triples up to the body, as he frequently does, George, he's leaving himself open, but most opponents find it difficult to punch back.
Now we had the first right-hand lead. This guy from D.C., Tyson, is very sneaky. Oscar's got to stick to his plan. Don't pace yourself with him. Keep throwing those bombs.
Well, let's see if Tyson keeps going with the right-hand lead. The new strategy employed here in the second round. Tyson with a little counter right inside. De La Hoya lands 2 left hands in return. Oscar pounding to the body, and Tyson stands firm.
Oh, what a left hook to the body by Oscar De La Hoya.
Sensational.
I can't recall De La Hoya being so effective to the body before. This is something new.
Tyson hurt there by De La Hoya's left hook, and now De La Hoya bombs him into the ropes, and Darryl comes back. He's in good shape. He stays in shape all the time, but Oscar De La Hoya's punching power is another story for most of the men who face him, and now Tyson beginning to cringe as De La Hoya goes to the ribs.
And that was from the body blows.
4, 5, 6, 7.
What can't Oscar De La Hoya do?
A second round knockout forged with body blows, George.
Oscar, he leaves no questions unanswered for me. This guy's got the whole package. The golden touch.
Now, you know, if you went to school on him to prepare for him, if you're Tyson, that's not one of the things you were prepared for. I mean, he must have landed 20 or 25 good, hard body shots within 2 rounds.
Well, and George, you pointed out that left hook underneath the rib cage that he landed over here close to us about 30 seconds before the end. That was really the decisive blow, wasn't it?
No doubt about it. That left hook had done its business long before that other knockdown punch came about. De La Hoya is the golden boy.
He's got it all. So here's another second round knockout for De La Hoya to go with the second round knockout of Leija in New York, to go with the 6th round TKO of Genaro Hernandez last August, to go with the second round knockout of Rafael Ruelas in May. He is on a roll, and it's going to be Chavez next if Julio Cesar can win later this evening. And this will only build the expectation for that one, George.
Yeah, it was frightening because you never think a guy could punch so much, throw so many hard punches, and still have a rhythm as the fight go on like that. This guy he's unbelievable.
All right, now let's take a look from earlier in the round, and that was the left hook that damaged him so badly.
Yeah, because he hit him underneath with the left hook, the guy thought he would never come back into the head with that kind of power, but he got him with a double left hook.
And the right hand to the rib cage there.
And when you land, you're hurting the body. You keep thinking, I'm going to get up in a minute. I'm going to get up in a minute as soon as this stops hurting. But it never seems to stop hurting, and you can't get up.
So if the question was, does Oscar's 135-pound punching power go up to 140, the returns on that subject are pretty resounding.
This guy can put on any amount of poundage that he wants, and he can still punch.
Well, I think he's basically a 147-pounder, George. I have a sort of book on De La Hoya, which is that we may not know exactly how great a fighter this guy is till he goes to 147, which is where I think he will first experience fair fights from the standpoint of punching power. Right now, let's go to Michael Buffer for the official particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mitch Halpern reaches the count of 10. The bout ends at 2 minutes, 38 seconds of round number 2. the winner by knockout victory. His record now 21-0, 19 KOs. The pride of East LA, the undefeated three-time world champion, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya.
Stat numbers, which will demonstrate De La Hoya's overwhelming dominance of the 2 rounds. He threw exactly twice as many punches, landed more than half of them, and among those 57, probably 15 or 20 were brutal body shots, most with the left hook. And let's go to Larry Merchant in the ring.
All right, Oscar, congratulations once again. Was it planned for you to go to the body, or did that just materialize during the fight?
Actually, I saw that he was keeping his guard up very well. It was very difficult for myself to throw those right hands and left hooks. So my intentions were to focus more on the body, try to wear him down. I thought the fight would last maybe 6, 7, 8 more rounds. But I felt I hurt him to the body, and I caught him with a good, clean left hook.
Refresh my mind. I don't remember your going to the body that hard, that often, and certainly I don't remember you ending fights that way. Is that true or not?
You know, it never did happen, but something that I'm learning. I'm learning more about boxing. I'm studying more videotapes. I'm learning more about the past champions, how they were, and I'm trying to pick up little things so I can become a complete fighter.
All right, we want to roll that on tape, and we want to show you how you looked in taking him apart. We understand that Tyson has said he's never been hit so hard. He's a quality opponent. A lot of people thought you were crazy to take him for a tune-up. Describe what you see.
Well, here I feinted him with a left jab, and I was trying to go to the body. Before that left jab, I hit him with a good body shot, which he felt very much. But my intentions were to feint him a lot, to try to keep him off balance and then go to the body.
In any way, were you trying or thinking about sending a message to Julio Cesar Chavez, who is renowned as a body puncher?
No, not at all. I mean, Julio Cesar Chavez, great champion, great person. I was fighting my own fight. I was proving to Darryl Tyson, I was proving to the people that I was training for Darryl Tyson, staying focused for Darryl Tyson. And now that I won and beat Darryl Tyson, I can now focus on Chavez.
Is it conceivable that you and he are going to test each other down here before you test each other up there?
Well, you know, that Chavez fight, June 7th, if everything goes well for Chavez, we get it on June 7th, and it's going to be a very interesting fight because it's going to be a clash of 2 warriors going at it. You might see a quick knockout, who knows? That fight is like that, made for a knockout.
Are you saying that you feel you're going to have something to prove against Chavez and you're not going to use the boxing ability we've seen you use recently?
No, one thing about me is I can adjust to styles, and whatever Chavez tries to do, I'm going to try to adjust to that style. June 7th, I'll be very ready for that fight like no other fight, and hopefully everything will go well.
You list him as one of your idols. Has it hit you yet that you're really close to fighting him, and what does it mean to you?
Well, I knew it all along that maybe one day we can go at it, Julio Cesar Chavez and myself. I've always dreamt about that fight, and now my dream is going to become true, fighting the legend, fighting the great champion, fighting the people's idol, and I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, and so is everybody else. Back to you, Jim.
All right, thank you very much, Larry. And George Foreman, a week ago, I stood with Roy Jones Jr., who happens to be one of De La Hoya's biggest admirers, but he suggested, he said, gee, I don't know. Oscar's taking a tough fight as he gets ready for the Chavez fight. I'm not sure it's such a great idea. Something bad could happen. Now, De La Hoya's gotten past this, and in such a way that it can only build his confidence going into the next one, right?
That's true. And you only had the Muhammad Ali of years past who would go in just before a great boxing match or a trying match, fight another tough guy. Oscar De La Hoya, I don't know what tree this guy's. Another tough guy. Oscar De La Hoya, I don't know what tree this guy's from, but it's a good tree.
All right, let's see what Chavez can do now in follow-up against what De La Hoya has done to set the table. Because coming up immediately following, we'll stay right here live at ringside to bring you Julio Cesar Chavez against Scott Walker, the main event of tonight's doubleheader, because De La Hoya said, I'll let it be that way. I'm perfectly happy for Julio to get the spotlight and fight second. There'll be plenty of time on June 7 for us to share this